Hello, Abimbola. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hello, Abimbola. What happened?
Yeah.
Hello, Hello, Abimbola. Are you there?
Hello.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I was wondering if the class was cancelled or something.
So I don't remember seeing any notification that the class will be cancelled. I'm even surprised that we are only the person here, only the people
Yeah,
here. I mean to say,
I didn't get any
I don't
notification
know.
either.
I don't know. Okay, I don't have. Can you maybe reach out to what's that name on WhatsApp? I don't know. At
Um,
least to get an update or something.
okay. Rachel. Rachel, right?
Yes, Rachel.
She was saying something about splitting us into groups. but she didn't give any direction on what that's going to look like. She was expecting us to connect. I can't even find that group.
So what okay, to me, what I understand about that is, of course, there will be a project, right? That we would be working on. So one group will be in charge of, thinking through the project and seeing how to thank you, how to build it, while the other party will be like assessing the work, as in playing the role of maybe a business owner.
Okay.
You understand? So
Yeah.
so one part, why one party is like the doer of the or the builder of the app, or is going to play that role. The other party will be like assessing,
The
assessing
work.
if what
What
is
group? What
done
group
is
are
up
you
to
in?
expectation. Sorry?
What group are you in?
I think I'm in a group of people that will do assessment. You?
See, all of us that don't know what we are doing our assessing. I don't even
Say that again.
understand. I said this whole project thing, I don't know.
There's still a lot that's
like I feel the way I feel about it is like there wasn't enough foundation laid that we're working on. It's like everybody's just applying head knowledge using AI. Because I have a bit of experience, but I was hoping that to be able to kind of have a course to follow up with, right? So I don't
so
know.
on my own, right? I would say I have. So this is not the first Power Apps course
Okay.
I'm doing. I've done the Power Up program before. I don't know if you know about it.
No.
Um, it's owned by Microsoft, right? So I've done that before. I've built
The Power Ups, the
some kind
Microsoft
of
Power Ups
applications,
program,
but
right?
Canvas app this time. I done model driven, right? So the more reason why I even joined the program was I was planning on taking the PL200 exam, which is I don't know if you know it, functional consultant for Microsoft. It's a Microsoft certification for Power Platform. I was going to take that exam, so I really wanted something that would, something hands-on across both platforms.
Yeah.
When I mean both platforms, then I mean model-driven
Canvas app and model driven,
and
right?
Canvas app. So yeah, and that was the reason why I
Mm.
joined the program, right? But then the way things are going, I know that I think they're expecting us to do a lot of work on our own. That's why I see it in terms of going through the Microsoft Learn platform, trying to like learn
Does everybody have a foundational knowledge? Have you done the PL900?
the PL200.
Have you done PL900?
PL900, that's no, I've not done. I think that
Fundamentals.
should be part fundamentals. No, I've not done. In fact, I'm trying to skip that.
You're
Honestly,
trying to skip that. Okay. I
I'm
did
doing.
that one last year. So I'm supposed to
Okay.
do the next and I know they've kind of streamlined we're already waiting. Make sure.
Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you said they kind of streamline something.
They've
Move it
streamlined
to the move it. Yes.
the courses like I mean Microsoft.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're supposed to be the functional what is it? The PL200.
Mm-hmm.
I think they scrapped that. So now it's like from PL900 to like AB900, the Copilot Agent Administration, and then AB410. Like taken, looks like they've completely taken off the PL200. I'll send you the Power Platform roadmap that I
Okay.
have now.
So, okay, please send. Although I'm aware that yes, they want to scrap. In fact, painfully, painfully, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, somebody's in now.
Hi everyone, I'm so sorry. I forgot. I already added it to my calendar that yes, there is class today, but the time difference between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. So it's 6 p.m. for me. I'm sorry for keeping you waiting. Good evening,
All
everyone.
right,
Good
that's
afternoon.
fine.
Hi,
Yeah.
good afternoon.
Okay, give me a moment. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm just going to be looking through the assignments, the tasks. So this is for the ticketing solution. This is the one of last time. Let me look at the new ones first. Okay, so we have Contoso HRO on board 30 plus employees monthly, IT support setup, equipment issue, and access provisioning are all tracked in spreadsheets. Tax falls through the cracks and new starters arrive without access. I think this place needs I think if you're talking about business scenario, I think this sentence needs to be, is it the person who has this is in the call, right? Is it
Yes, I
Tiabibola?
think this is mine.
Okay, yes, okay.
I think it's mine.
Okay, so this business scenario, you have to kind of adjust the sentence. It's a little bit confusing. So the business problem here is that we're looking at manual onboarding leading to delays, inaccurate access, and general poor onboarding process. Employee arrive without or late system access or equipment. When you say employee arrive, I don't think that's the right word. Arrive is kind of arriving somewhere or something. I don't think there's a right word here. But no centralized visibility into onboarding process, difficulty tracking SLA compliance. SLA compliance for this. I don't think there's an SLA here. Wait, give me a moment. I don't think there's an SLA. Okay, so this is the use case that we're looking at. We're looking at HRO on board 30 plus employees monthly. They have IT support. Okay, equipment issue. Okay, the equipment issue has the SLAs, and then they have access provisioning are all tracked in spreadsheets. Tax fall through the cracks, and new starters arrive without access. Okay, that's their start day. Like when they resume or when their first day, they have no access to sign in and stuff like that. So the roles is HRO officer, HRO heads, admin manager, IT professionals, managers, admin manager, IT professional, HR officer, yes, HR heads, yes, admin manager. But as you are listing them, you need to define them. You don't need to just list them. You need to explain what do they serve as. Like what is their purpose of being here? Then the next one is stakeholders. The stakeholders are HR department and IT departments. I would say, what of the employee, the person? Is the person is a stakeholder?
I guess I missed that out. Yeah, the employee. Even the way I wrote it, I think finance department should be part of it too, because the way I thought about the app, I thought about it that okay, once the HR personnel officer,
Yeah.
request an onboarding form or something like that, right? On
Yes.
approval, is a notification should go to finance. The notification should go to the IT professionals to start working on the employees equipment, right? To go to
Yeah.
finance, of course, the remuneration, right? They have to
Okay.
plan for it and how just generally plan for it. So that's my thought line behind the application, right? So
So
I'm
you need
thinking
to
the
add it.
stakeholder should
You need to add it and
yeah, go
define.
on.
I don't think stakeholders, I don't think putting departments, maybe HRO, the IT professional, you don't have to put department as a stakeholder. You need to correct this place stakeholder. Then this one you need to define them, what they do, what is their purpose in the solution. Then the business requirements, onboarding process to be automated from end to end. This sentence is incomplete. A business requirement cannot be that. You need to
Okay.
give more. You need to give more details here. HR officer must be able to create onboarding requests. Dashboard that allows HRO monitor and manage onboarding process from stage to stage, and also managers to know when new employee is due for his tax. Everything that you are writing, you need to provide more information. Ability for HRO to set and adjust grade levels and corresponding remuneration as part of the tax sent to the. You need to explain, sent to the finance department on what purpose. Tax to be monitored for all staff and competition rates. Approval system for HRO head. On approval notification sent to admin manager. You need to bring more information about all of this. Then the acceptance criteria, HR should be able to create new employee and onboarding request. The system must store employee data, HRO, and should be able to track. Your acceptance request is, you need to start from, if you're doing acceptance request, you need to start
Needs to be more
from,
detailed.
yes, and you need to start from, you not talk about the data, you just talked about the tables. Where is you just talked about
I have the tables, I have the columns. The data types are in the, honestly, I would say I already did this. The data type is in the ERD diagram.
This is incomplete, please. This is not just the acceptance criteria. This is not it at all. It's incomplete. You need to work on it. You need to work on it. Please work on it. So the Power Platform components are, Modern Driven App, Data Vans, and Power Automate, So please work on it. This is incomplete. Okay. So
All right, noted.
okay, so for this one. Okay. So business problem, Contoso onboards 30 plus employees monthly, IT setup, equipment. You also need to Abimbola, this is you, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this business problem, to kind of add more details to it, like when I write stuff like documentations, I try to make sure that even a non-technical person or a person that does not even know what's happening, they can read it clearly. I know that the English on the case study looks one kind, but it does not mean that you have to copy it and paste it. You
So
need
are
to
we
adjust
supposed
it.
to, for the business problem, I just thought it was what it is. What are we expatiating on the business? Like the business
don't have
problem is
to.
clearly
You don't
stated
have
in
to.
the case
Yes,
study.
you don't have to expatiate it. Just kind of make sure that the words is correctly
Should it be
worded.
reworded, or I don't
Yes, it should be
understand what you,
reworded.
oh,
Like
okay.
rephrase it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then instead of doing it this way now, I know you placed it so that people can click on it and go to the specific points. You need to do
Yeah.
like a write-up and guide people. Because if I come here now, I'm saying what does this mean? What are you trying to what are you asking me to do? You just listed them here. So
I thought that was what you said the last time, that make it linkable to the page where they could
yes, which
read
is
it.
good. But you need to direct them. You need to do a little bit of write-up, tell them that this is where the business requirement is, the business logic and all of that. I don't know if you get me.
I don't.
Okay, so in this particular place now, we have business requirements and acceptance. You just listed them. You need to explain why you listed them and what they do. Like, if I give you this documentation, now you're not the one that wrote it. What will you think that is happening here? Tell me.
Okay. Well, I will think these are like the steps that I kind of followed to arrive at my solution, right? So,
No, I won't.
um,
For me, I won't. Let me tell you what I'll think. If I come to your solution for the first time, if I'm a recruiter and you added this link to your project, and then I come here for the first time, when I look at this, I'll be like, okay, business employee onboarding tracker. Okay. If you can explain, apart from the business problem, if you can give a small explanation, just a one-line phrase about the employee onboarding tracker, that would be great. And then maybe you move
Okay.
into the business problem. I'll be like, okay. Then
Like
when
you're
it
talking
goes,
about it like this is my thoughts. Yeah, putting your
yeah,
thoughts on paper more or less. Like this is what
not your
this
thoughts, it has to
for
be a
this.
documentation. You don't write your thoughts. It's for when you are writing documentation, you don't write your thoughts. Just it's an explanation.
Do you have an example you can show us? Because I must tell you that I having done the first one and doing this one again, I still
Yeah.
kind of don't understand what your expectations are because it's a little
Yeah, a lot of people, I don't have their GitHub anymore. A lot of people that submitted from last year cohorts,
like
they
do you
actually
have
did it.
personal projects for yourself, for
No,
example,
I don't.
that
I don't have
okay,
personal projects
okay,
in my own environment where I did that.
okay.
I just have more of
Because maybe seeing what a typical you've been in the system. Some of us have not
yeah,
worked in that line. We're just trying to get in. So if you're reviewing a project for recruitment, for example, like you mentioned,
send the blog
what are
post.
the
Yeah.
expectations or what do you
Okay.
expect to see?
Okay. So for instance, now this is a blog post. Okay, it's not the same thing, but it's on how to send emails to Excel automatically. So it's a bit different. So I tried to the reason why I wrote this blog post was because Microsoft did a new law that the new Outlook from Microsoft brings a modernized interface and new features, but it comes with the discontinuation of VBA. So for many professionals and small businesses, because they are the ones that mostly uses VBA. So I'm trying to introduce them to, and this is a blog post, so it's kind of different from what you need to do. So I'm kind of introducing them to Power Automate, that instead of using VBA, that they can use Power Automate to kind of extract emails. Then I gave them a live scenario for business on where this can happen, where they can use it. Then I talked about why choose Power Automate, like why should they use Power Automate. Then I talked about the tutorial. I think I linked a video here, but I don't know where it is anymore. Then I gave a conclusion. So you can see that it's more of like you are moving, it's a guide, like a direction. You are taking the person through a path. If we are going to somewhere now, like now, I tell you, like, okay, from what you guys received now at the beginning of the cohort, you received a timetable that tells you what is going to happen throughout the cohort, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is a guide. We're trying to tell you what will happen throughout the cohort. So in this place now, there is no guide in what you are showing here.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to place it for you to understand it clearly. There is no guide. Like, I need to just take it that you are somebody that's like, this is the first time you are seeing this documentation. Even as a recruiter, not as a recruiter, any person at all that reads this, you need to make sure you guide them through your document, like through your GitHub repository. You have already added the links, but you need to guide them that, okay, this is the reason why you need to check this. This is the reason why you need to check this. This is the reason why you need to check this. And this is the reason why you need to check this. Do
Okay.
you get?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to guide them. Do you
Okay.
get me?
Yeah.
Try it out and just tell me how you go about it. Okay, so the first one is the business requirements. Automated tax generation. Onboarding tax would be automatically generated and assigned to the appropriate team or individual upon submission in the HRO system. The automation is executed using Power Automate. Tax. Automated tax generation. This is business requirements. Onboarding tax would be automatically generated and assigned to the appropriate team. On what condition? I know
Upon
it's a business
submission.
requirement and it's not, I know it's a business requirement and not a acceptance criteria, but on what condition? Onboarding tags will be automatically generated and assigned to the
Upon
appropriate team or
submission.
individual. Yes, what do you mean by that?
Like upon submission, like if a new staff is onboarded, like if you submit the request into the system, it automatically generates and assigns the next line of action or the next task to the team or the people that have been assigned to take it up.
Now make it that way.
Okay.
Write it that way and remove this. The automation is executed using Power Automate. A business requirement does not have the tool.
Okay.
Yeah, you get. Business requirement does not have the tool. Who's this person? Okay. So then the next one, tax checklist groups. As a business requirement, the system will support different. You say tax checklist groups. Who are they? You need to explain who are they first. You just did it and added this thing here. As a business requirement, the system was, as a business requirement, there's no need for this sentence. The system will support different tax categories like IT support, software installation, and program downloads, ensuring the system. What do you mean by the system? You need to give more. You need to give more insights. Break it down. Don't just write it high level. The same thing with everything that you have here. Role-based access level and HR. Data governance is incorporated. See, when you are writing a business requirement, see, this is the trick about business requirements. When you're writing business requirement, you are not writing it fixed to a tool. You're writing it as a converse, like you're writing it when a client reaches out to you. When a client reaches out to you, obviously they might not have used Power Platform before, but they will explain to you how their business problem is, right? You get to, and then they get to tell you what requirements they need, in that system. So it's from that requirement. When they are telling you, they are not fixing it to a platform.
You're the one who decides what platform works for the requirement that they've
Yes.
laid out.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's what they have laid out that you now bring into the platform as an implementation, and then you write it as an acceptance criteria.
Oh, okay.
You get, yeah. So the acceptance criteria, giving a new hire record is created in the HRIs. The link, this is not an acceptance criteria. This is not this is not an acceptance criteria. And the acceptance criteria is more than this. I told you, an acceptance criteria, you need to be focused on which user before you now start breaking it down. And then at the end, you talk about which platform is implementing it. This is not an
So looking
acceptance
at that
criteria.
first acceptance criteria in comparison with the first business requirement, like I think the way I thought about it is this acceptance criteria answers the business requirement, the first
Then
business requirement.
bring them together, bring them close to each other. You don't expect that
So
when a recruiter reads your CV, and then because they would look at your GitHub before they come to the call, you don't expect them to figure it out themselves, right?
okay, so does the thing is when we identify the business requirement, I'm confused. Business requirement is what the business needs. The business comes with you and tell you this is what we're trying to achieve. This is what we hope your system that you're trying to sell to us or you're trying to develop for us would solve, right? That's what the business requirement is. And then the acceptance criteria is like, okay, these are the minimum, these are the offerings that we have in order to address
The
your
acceptance
requirement.
criteria.
The acceptance criteria that
No,
like this is
acceptance
what
criteria is not the offering that we have. See, when a business
Okay.
gives you a business requirement, you have a call with them. It's called a discovery call. You have a discovery call with them, and you guys kind of talk about it. Then you also bring out other requirements that you have noticed from their system that they have not even noticed. You ask them open-ended question. They answer your questions. And then when everything is gathered, the business requirement, everything is gathered, you have it in a documentation, an Excel sheet or something. And then you come to Jira or DevOps and then you start writing user stories from those requirements. So when you start writing stories from those requirements, the requirements, it will first be an acceptance criteria. So it will be a summary of the requirements at the top, like a summary of the requirements at the top focused on the user. Okay. Then the acceptance criteria would be how the user is going to use it in the system. So if we are looking at the first one, we said onboarding tasks will be automatically generated and assigned to the appropriate team or individual upon submission in the HRO system. I would say the HRO, HRO goes to the user is HRO, right? So when the HRO opens the app, the HRO should be able to create an onboarding record for a new employee. Okay, should be able to create an onboarding for a new employee. And when they click on create, once they create it, they should be able to save it. Like they enter all the record. You mentioned what record that they need to enter. So it might be that they need to enter the employee's name that they are creating the onboarding request for. Whatever information that you think that they should enter, you list those things there. And then you go forward with that. They will click on the save button, and automatically that will be assigned to somebody that will manage it, right? Which is a team or an individual, or whatsoever ways you have thought about it. So you see, that's the way you now break it down. You get? If you do not understand them, the best thing, ask ChatGPT or Claude.
Even those guys were like, everything I did was based on, okay, at some point I was getting a little confused and I threw it in there. And based on what they gave me, I was able to kind of explain it in my own words, or kind of bring it out in this format that I have here. So yeah, I wasn't too sure what to include in the acceptance criteria, because in my head I thought the acceptance criteria is like, this is how this would work. This is what minimum expectation.
If you check the Excel sheet, I added it as a task. And everybody should read on how to write an acceptance criteria. If you check that Excel sheet that I shared with everybody, you will see it there. That is part of the task that everybody should do. Did you do it?
I did, and that was my understanding of what I did. Like that was what I thought the acceptance criteria is like what the business expects to see before the app can go live, or before the solution can go live, based on what they have asked for.
So let me tell you what happens. Acceptance criteria is usually used by the person who is developing the system. Is also used by the tester, the person who is testing the system. So look at how the tester looks at it. The tester is that when they read the acceptance criteria, they get to understand that, okay, when they go into the app as a HRO, they can click on create button. When they click on create button, they can go next and add records for a specific field. And then when they click on save, they are expecting that the person that they selected, that the person they assigned that record to, they're expecting that the person will get a notification, right? So it's like a step-by-step process. It's more of like, okay, once I do this, this is what will happen. Once I do this, this is what will happen. And then for the person that is developing the system, when the person reads the acceptance criteria, the person knows what to implement, what to build. That's the acceptance criteria. The person knows what user they are building it for. And if you are reading about something, don't just read only one documentation. Read other things. Watch videos about it. Do you get? Watch videos about it. Check different resources about it. Don't just check one place and then you are over.
Okay, back to the drawing board.
Yeah, so you need to work on this page, this full page.
Then I also, I haven't, my ERD is not complete yet because I don't know. I can't seem to understand that app you suggested for us to use the that what's it called now? I don't know. The app you suggested to use in developing our ERDs. I couldn't understand or how to you navigate through it. So that page might not be up to it. There's nothing there. I just wanted to let you know before you get there. Okay.
No problem. See, this is you guys' next task. Your task for this week. Create a modern driven app. Watch videos. Create a modern driven app. Okay. Create a modern driven app for this solution that you guys have wrote about now. Create data vars tables. Create data vars tables. Create relationships between the tables. And then build the modern driven app. Modern driven app is not that difficult to create. Build the modern driven app. At least maybe if you do that, you get more knowledge of what you are doing. You get build the modern driven app. There are videos on YouTube on how to create, and I even did I taught a class on how to create a modern driven app. So that's you guys' task for this week. Then complete all these things too. See, if you are writing anything, you are not writing it for yourself. You are writing it for somebody to read. You need to make sure that you are taking them through, like it's more like storytelling. Like you are taking them, if somebody is reading it, the person will understand what is happening. So you say business logic. I know we are following a path. Business logic for what? You said the business logic this system seeks to implement includes the triggered logic, starting from the first event, which entering a new hire record into the HRIS system. What is HRIS system? You have not defined it in any way. Which would trigger a flow as long as it contains all the required fields to create a ticket bucket. What fields? What tax buckets? So you are writing it for somebody to read. You're not just writing it as a notepad to keep. You get?
Okay.
Yeah, so please work on it. Your tax for this week. Okay. Tax for this week. Build a solution on. And you guys, during the week, you guys don't even tag me to ask me questions. Tax for this week. Build a solution on employment tracker. Solution. Data vars table. Columns. Relationships. Modern driven apps. Power automate flows. And anything else that you want to add to it. So if you guys are working through it, you can just look at your write-up and see anything that you are doing wrong. Is your someone in the call?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So we have okay, so employee tracker Contoso phase 1 design and specification for an employee embody tracker produced as part of the you don't have to put produce as part of the platform explorers. We are using this, we are trying to make sure that this is like a portfolio for you get. So try and remove it. Try and remove that platform explorers. You don't have to place it there. We are trying to make sure that it's like a portfolio that you can show that you have built something with Power Platform and this is your thought process. So the Contoso HRO onboards 30 new plus employees every month. IT setup, equipment and abstract and spreadsheets, tax fall through. Can you put, I know this is the problem, right? But can you kind of rephrase it, construct it better so that when the person is reading it, it's easier for them to read? Then the result is missed handoff across HRO and compliance, no clear ownership or no audit trails and a poor first day experience for every new hire. You already said this is the problem. So how is this you need to adjust this sentence when you say the result is missed handoffs. I get what you're trying to mean, but I don't think this is the right word. The result is. Then approach. I walked through the design in 9 sections, each one feeding into the next. So use case and domain, what the system is and what it covers, business scenario. Abimbola, so this is an example. You can see that it's taking you through a process. Do you get? Hi, Abimbola. Okay. So roles in the solution.
Sorry, my kids just got my attention. Sorry, what was that?
No, I
was
said
distracted for a minute.
yeah, sure, no problem. It's fine. So you can see from this place that he's taking you through a process. He's taking you through what he has done in the README. So it's easy for you to follow through to see what is happening, right?
Okay.
So that's what I mean. Okay, so roles in the solution, the people who use the system, key stakeholders, internal and external stakeholders, requirements. I don't think there's an external, okay, maybe the way I've thought about it. Business requirement and acceptance criteria, functional and non-functional requirements with their definition of done, entity relationship diagram, the data model and relationships, business logic, the rules that govern system behavior, the platforms deliver the solution. So one case per new hire. Each new employee has exactly one onboarding case that parents all their tax, equipment records, and uploaded documents. Tax are generated from templates, not hard-coded. Tax are generated from templates, not hard-coded. A separate tax template table holds the standard onboarding checklist. HRO you need to elaborate more on what you mean here, please. Then role tailored tax generation, tax tagged to a specific job role. Specific job role only generates for that role. Universal tax generates for every new hire. Elaborate on year 2. Day 1 readiness, 3 days before the start date, the system flags any case where critical tasks are still incomplete and escalates to HR leadership. Explain, yeah. This is very good, but you need to explain. Explain, give more context to it. Then I'm really okay. So self-service portal for new hires. New hires upload personal before they want through an external facing portal, removing manual chase up by. I don't think there's any need for this one because when employees usually send these things through emails, but maybe there's a way you thought about it. They already sent this through emails. At least that's the experience I had on. So maybe you have thought about it differently and you have had a different experience. Probation milestone built-in. Our body doesn't close at day 1. The case stays open through. I don't think that makes sense for it to stay throughout. Onboarding cannot stay more than day 1. You have onboarded the person, so you want their case to be open till after their probation. I don't think this stands, please. Project context. I don't think there's any need for this one. I don't think there's any need for this one. So. Project context and acknowledgement. No need for this one. Okay, so the employee onboarding tracker is a Power Platform solution that manages every task required to take a new hire from offer acceptance to a full productive employee at the end of their probation period. You need to adjust this one because onboarding is not probation. Probation is different from onboarding, please. Then it replaces the spreadsheet-based tracking currently used by Contoso HRO, gives every onboarding task a clear owner and due date, and provides visibility to HRO leadership on the status of every you can't say case. This is not a case. You make sure that when you are using words, you need to use words that relates to what you are doing. So this is not a case in flight. Change this word case. Every employee onboarding spans for 4 operational areas inside the organization. Spans for HRO, owns the case end-to-end, schedules induction, captures personal documents, IT, provisions laptop, email, and Active Directory accounts, facilities, allows decks and access cards, so remote hires, compliance, okay. Then the system coordinates the handoffs between these 4 areas so that nothing is dropped between them. What it covers, capturing new hire details when and remember when you are creating that assignment, when you are creating your this thing, remember to create a business process flow. Because a business process flow that will move them from step to step. Okay, so what it covers, capturing new hires, details when an offer is accepted, generating the standard onboarding checklist tailored to the new hires role, assigning. What does it not cover? I don't think there's any need for this one. There's no need for this session. Okay, session 2. Contoso today. Contoso onboards more than 13 new employees every month across multiple departments, customer experience, technology, operations, marketing, finance, and others. The HR team currently coordinates onboarding through a shared Excel tracker on a SharePoint with informal emails, handoffs to IT, facilities, and compliance. Process works on paper. In practice, it depends on individual diligence. The HROBP remembering to email IT remembering to prepare the laptop, facilities remembering to assign a desk. When anything is missed, the new IR fills it on day one. Okay, that's good. Pain points. No formal tax ownership. The tax slip through the cracks because no single person is accountable. No automatic notification. IT facilities and compliance are unaware of upcoming start dates until HR chases them. No escalation when, okay. Business impact, the pain points translate into measurable business costs. Time to productivity is delayed. HR effort is consumed by chasing. Compliance risk increases. Next, computer with access was granted. Okay. Yep. What better looks like the single system where every onboarding process is created and IFR is assigned. Every tax has an owner and a due date. Every tax stakeholder is notified. Every gap is flagged for the one. HR leadership has visibility throughout. Okay. Roles in the solution system cells. 7 roles. Each role has a defined scope of access and responsibility. HRO, which is owns onboarding cases end to end. Remember to change this word, it's because not the case. Submits new hires form when an offer is assigned, monitors, chases gaps, and approves documents. Each new hire is assigned to one for the duration of their case. Change the award case. Head of HR, IT administration, facilities officer, compliance officer, reporting manager, and new hire. New hire is not an external user. I don't know why you're asking them to have a self-service portal because I think because I'm thinking that the HRO, all the documents that they have of that employee, they will onboard it before the employee gets to the system. So there's no need for a self-service for them. Okay, so stakeholders are people or group that are affected by the solution, but do not necessarily use it every day. I don't think this is correct. We have different types of stakeholder. That new hire is a stakeholder. So you can't say this is what it means. So you say okay, you break it down. You have key stakeholders, internal stakeholders, and governance stakeholders, and external stakeholders. I don't think a new hire is an external stakeholder because they are in the system already. An equipment vendor say stakeholder, but I don't think this system is doing anything for them. It just depends on how you're thinking about it, but yeah. Then the acceptance criteria. 6. Okay, so each business requirement is paired with its acceptance criteria, the testable conditions that confirm the requirement is met. Requirements are grouped by life cycle stage and prioritized on the must have and should have scale. Okay, that's great. Group 1, case initiation. So HRO, wait, once I'm done, I'll post this on the chat as an example for you guys to use. It still has a lot of correction to make to it, but it will give you an idea of how to go about yours. So this is not, you can't put this as a statement. You can either use a summary or a requirement, that word statement. So HRO business partner must be able to initiate an onboarding case by submitting a new hire form as soon as the new hire's offer letter is signed and returned. Acceptance criteria. Giving a logged-in HRB, when they open the new hire form, they should see all required fields for capturing the new hire's details. What fields? You need to mention the fields. You need to mention what the HRO business partner is seeing. What do they see before they go to that new hire form? Do they click on a button? How do they get to that point? Given completed and submitted form, a unique onboarding case should be created with status. I don't think this is two. This should be an acceptance criteria on its own. This should also be, and as you are breaking it here, they should all have their own implementation. All these ones that you did here, you need to work on it. Then new hire form must validate all critical information before a case is created. The system must enforce that all critical onboarding information is captured and valid before allowing a case to be created. Given an incomplete form, so when you are starting an acceptance criteria, you need to mention the user first before you start talking about anything. And the way you are breaking it like this, either you join them together or you do something about it. You can't break it like this, except you are saying that they are all different. After you put them, then after you put the acceptance criteria, like this one now, for instance, after you put it, then you go down and put its implementation. No, like where is it implemented or something? As you're breaking it down here, it looks more of like a requirement than acceptance criteria, the way you're breaking them down. It's great, but it looks like a requirement than acceptance criteria.
Yeah, so what I did was to now we have what's called requirement. So what I did was to break it down. So under each business requirement, what tests must be passed, for the requirement to be what's called valid. So for instance, now in the first one that I said, case created. So
Yeah.
when the HR when the HR person goes to the system and then imputes a new hire, for that what's called that requirement to be tick as passed, these things must be what's called the accepted requirement or criteria, e.g. maybe
let's try something like that first one, the number one. Giving a logged in business partner will be at the top. It will not be number one. This place here will be at the top here because this is the person that is performing the actions that is happening here, right? So then you now start this number one from here. So when they open the new hire form, they should see you mention the fields for capturing the new hire's details. Okay. Before they complete, when you say giving a completed and submitted form, what makes it a completed and submitted form? You need to explain. Once they submit, a unique onboarding case should be created with status not started and time-stamped automatically, right? Then you need to mention where are they seeing these things? Where are they saying that the status is not started, and what field are they looking at that has that time stamp? Okay, then we need to look at the next one. Given a newly created case, the submitting HRBP should be automatically assigned as the case owner. Okay, when you say HRB, we are mentioning the user, right? The submitting
no, HR person. Sorry, the HR person is the one that is imputing the details for the new hire. If you check that, the first one, I wrote business requirement 01, which is the business so
yes,
the HR person.
Yeah, so this specific place, You said the submitting HRBP, can you put in full words here, should be automatically assigned as the case owner. So you mean that, rephrase this sentence. You mean that the person that has created this record, this is not a case. This is not a case here. The person that has created this record is now automatically the case owner. So in that sense, do you mean that only a HRO person can create an onboarding record? You need to mention it. Because if they become the owner of that, this is not a case, so it cannot be case owner. So they become the owner of that record. So is it that they are the only persons that can create it or not? You need to mention it.
Okay. And so yeah, so what I put in the first at the end there, HR business partner can create onboarding. So that means only HR, should have access to the platform for starting the onboarding process. Operations cannot do that. Someone in probably finance, should not have.
Well, you said
that.
HR business partners can create onboarding cases when an offer is signed, meaning that any person, the way you placed it, that means anybody can create it. So you need to be more specific. Then, given a successful submission, a confirmation message should display the case ID and a new hire name. So how is it displaying it? Is it displaying it as a pop-up on the screen?
And so normally, I should add about. I was trying not to, put too many. Last time you like I put too many details. So I was trying to make it brief, as in brief but concise.
Yeah, even though it's brief, you have to be straight to the point. Like, what is the person seeing, right? Because if we are looking at this now, a developer is looking at it, and also like the person that is developing the system is looking at it, and also the tester. So if the tester will definitely come back to you and ask you, if I submit, where am I seeing the confirmation message? Where should I check for the confirmation message? Do you get?
Yeah,
So that's
okay.
it. Yeah, so just do that to look at the rest. Yeah, I know I didn't join the class on time, but yeah. Okay, so so in the table we have the department table, we have the job role table, we have the tax template table. What are you using tax templates to do?
Okay, so for onboarding, there's some tasks that should be carried out for each person. So the template shows the normal task, right? And then there's some extra tasks that will be carried out based on the person role. So for instance, now each one is coming as an operations. So let me use where I work as an example. So if someone is coming as an operations person, the person should have access to normally ID card, laptop, and some specific software tools like FlexCube, for instance. So yeah, I'm using banking terms here.
Okay.
So the template just shows that, it must have access to ID card, laptop, right? Then based on the role, it should have access to some platform like FlexCube, BVM validation for operations person. For instance, if someone is marketing, normally you have access to ID card, laptop, but you won't have access to the banking platform. So the template will not. So that means that you should have access to other platform that applies to him as a marketer. So that's the idea behind the templates. So
Okay.
there's some layouts.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Then the new hire document is a SharePoint table. Because DataVerse does not save documents.
So for the new hire form, the new hire table, once the person has what's called as what's called the offer with the company, right? And now proceed to submit.
Yes, I know what you mean. I'm telling you that it's a limitation in DataVerse. So maybe you have a new hire document table in you have it in DataVerse, but it's going to be integrated to SharePoint. So everything that you upload there is going to be saved in a SharePoint.
SharePoint.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think if you already have it already, there's no need for this. You already have it at this place. Just have just one. There's no need having it in two sides. But anyone you want to go for, it's fine. Okay, so business logic, the rules below define how the system behaves automatically. Each rule has a trigger, a condition, and a action. Form required field on higher form submit, block submission if any required field is blank. Future start date, reject submission if start date is not in the future. Reject submission if personal email is not in valid format. Okay, the employee number alternate key prevents duplicate employees number. Case and so for this one, you need to also place it that nobody can, since it's a key, you need to make it that field nobody can enter. It's a locked field, so nobody can enter data in that field. So then the case auto creation, you need to change this one. It's not a case. When an employee record is created, create one onboarding case with started, not started. The current timestamp and the submitting user as assigned. I don't understand that part. When a case is created, generate one onboarding task per machine task template. Templates that apply to all. So in this system that you're creating, you need to enable activity. You know that we're working on modern driven app, so we can be seeing everything that the person is doing. You can be seeing all the tasks that the person is doing in that activity table that is connected to your main records table that's connected to your parents table. Yeah. Apart from this, do we have any questions on the call? Hi, everyone.
No questions from me.
Okay. So the corrections, just work on it and paste it on the chat. I've also pasted the what to do this week. This is the task to do this week. So build a solution on employment tracker, the data vast tables, columns, relationships, model-driven apps, the Power Automate flows, and also the business process flow. If you have any questions, please, I beg you, tag me on the chat, okay? Watch
So for the
videos.
model-driven app, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
For
sure,
the
no problem.
model-driven app, when we're done building, do we bring it into GitHub too?
Okay, I can show you in our next class. I'll show you how to export it and upload it in GitHub.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you how to export the solution and then upload it in GitHub. It's just like uploading a document. It's like uploading a folder, but the only thing is the exporting out of Power Platform. Yeah. Do we have any questions? Do you
Yeah,
have any
so
other questions?
yeah, I have a question. So yeah, so regarding I use case. Why I use case is that for instance, probably there are 5 new hires, right? So once, let's say HR Tayo, for instance, goes to the portal and then inputs the new hire details for the first person, right?
Okay.
That creates a case for that new hire. Obviously, Tayo is the one that will be the one that will oversee the case as the HR person from initiation to the end. So that's why I use case in that scenario. So obviously, so if HR bookie, for instance,
Well, they are not.
is
When
okay.
you say case, case is kind of different. Case is that they are creating a case, like they're creating a case for an information or for a problem or something. Or a complaint. That is a case. In this case, we are not working with a case.
Okay, so what should I use as a term?
So you can either use a record or a new hire record.
Okay.
Or a new onboarding record for an employee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any other question? Hi, Emmanuel, do you have a question?
Not yet.
Okay, if you have any questions, please just tag me in the chat. And I'm very sorry for keeping you guys waiting today on the call. So have a great week and thank you so much. Hi, Abibola. I
You
responded
too.
to all your questions, right?
Yeah, so
Don't
I have a
worry, I will
question.
tag you when I have any other questions.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Hi, Osam, yeah.
Yeah, and for the next tax, like what's the timeline? Like
It's not supposed to take time now. From now till Saturday. Or from
okay,
now till Sunday.
okay,
I know we are all busy, do you get? So from now to Sunday. While you are doing it, try to make corrections to your to your tax. Yeah. Okay. To your GitHub, the one that you have already on GitHub. Try to make corrections to them. So from now to Sunday, that's the submission. I'll show you how to submit it on GitHub. Don't worry about that. Just do it. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great week. Bye.
yeah, thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you.